Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Gavin Newsom. Hey, Gavin Newsom, guess what he did? Gavin Newsom, man, he vetoed, see the bill that, I was concerned about it a little bit because I didn't think he was going to veto it, but it was a question mark because I know he considers himself a centrist in a sense, you know what I mean? So Gavin Newsom, the slimy sleazeball politician that he isn't the dumbest slimy sleazeball politician there is. You know what I mean? He's quite smart, you know, and he made this move. A lot of people are saying that Gavin Newsom is planning on running for president, and it's no surprise to anybody. But this move right here, this is a centrist move, which he could have easily, you know, ran with this. You know, the bill was flawed, you know, and that could have been the case. And so this couldn't, you know, maybe this isn't Gavin Newsom saying, hey, I'm more of a centrist. It's maybe saying like, hey, actually the bill's kind of flawed, you know what I mean? Because the bill it had ulterior motives built in the bill. It was sold to us as just kind of like a cliche version of being affirmed, like just being supported, you know what I mean? For the definition of affirmation was actually being described as being just supportive of your child, not necessarily having to affirm as the political term right now, how they use it right now. Just affirm your child being, I think my mic's a little too loud. Let me turn it down a little bit. But having to affirm the child, you know, meaning through therapies and, you know, puberty blockers as they get older, you know, doing things like that. So this bill was sold to us through the media as a divorce bill. You know, I believe I have a video I went through the bill where you know, they kind of describe, they make definitions, like, you know, some of these bills this is the new definition, right? So it spoke as for child abuse, adding a new definition saying if you don't affirm your child's gender expression or gender identity, I believe those are the two terms they use, and I'm not sure if it got rewritten in the Senate, but this is how, after the I think it was the second reading, this is what it sounded like first paragraph when you read it. So it wasn't like it was hidden in the bill, but it was like if the parent does not affirm the child's identity or child's gender identity and gender expression, then this parent will be from the state's point of view will be seen as neglect, will be seen as not fulfilling the child's welfare requirements for, you know, him to grow up or her to grow up to be healthy. This will be seen as child abuse, and the bill was sold to us in the media as a way to where it was just for divorces, which, to be honest, the second paragraph did mention divorces and I read it as just kind of taking the kid away. It didn't necessarily, you know, define itself as being just in divorces, you know. It was like spouse, child care, in any matter. It was a lot. It was really broad how I read it. It just sounded it was a violation for parents, you know what I mean? So Gavin Newsom vetoed the bill, and I'm just waiting to look for the anger, because it's definitely not what a lot of people thought was gonna happen. Definitely in California, where you know, you see this push towards this this ideology, you know, and it's not necessarily wanting anybody for us to choose who's what and what's what in this reality that we live in, you know. But it is true that you know, parents should be able to raise their kids as fit as needed. And if there's unfit, you know, it's a different story. So moving on, but just the writer of the bill, just to let you know, this bill came out of the California Assembly. Lori, what's her name? Sorry about that. Yeah, Lori. We'll just go with that. Lori Wilson Lori Wilson, she wrote the bill. And just a little backstory: the California Senate, right? They have caucuses. I believe it's the California Senate, like 50 members or something like that. So there's 12. There's a black caucus, which has 12 members, and I'm not sure if 12 is the magic number. And there's the LGBTQ plus caucus that has 12 members as well. So and I'm not so sure if they like intermingle. You know what I mean? If do the black caucuses in the LGBTQ plus caucus, then serve as member in both caucuses. So I don't know if it's some sort of intermingling when it comes to that. But there's the California's LGBTQ plus caucus is different than other LGBTQ blah blah blah. Not the blah blah blah, but I'm just stumbling. Or LGBT caucuses is different because the members in that caucus are 100% LGBTQ plus ... So I'm not sure like if this is like this is what I just learned, like it's different for California. This is a different one than around all the other ones that have other people on the board, straight people, I guess, people of different that non LGBTQ plus people on the board. So this one consists completely of it, you know what I mean? And the leader of the caucus, I believe at some point, or he's on every bill, is Mr. Scott Weiner, right? So Lori Wilson wrote the bill, Mr. Scott Weiner co-wrote the bill. We're gonna get back to Scott Weiner in a minute. But Lori Wilson, she, as you can see, she serves on the Black Caucus and the LGBTQ plus caucus. So good for her. She's trying to get her bills passed through, but I don't understand why she had to put her name on this violation of parenthood, and and try to serve it as being like I'm black and I'm LGBTQ plus. So it's a violation on that. But Mr. Scott Weiner, he's been bugging out. Mr. Scott Weiner is bugging, man. Mr. Scott Weiner, he co-wrote AB957 that Newsom just vetoed. So just to bring that back, he is definitely, hold on real quick, he is definitely seeing himself on the street. So he was spotted. Yes, he was spotted at the X-rated block party in San Francisco, or San Francisco suburban area. We'll get the location for you. But he was spotted out there wilding out. He wasn't wilding out, but apparently he attended the event. Okay. Then pictures go around on what's happening at the event, right? And we all know that he didn't participate in some of these activities, but the way these activities or these exhibits are set up, they're just part of just the block party. It's a block party. It's outside. It's the streets, right? Supposedly there was a strict ID policy. There was no kids allowed. All right, just to cover all that. But it was a block party and it was in the streets. So it was outside. Like, I don't know, like, you clear the whole block out of children before you handle something like that. So, there's a lot of questions, but since it was set outside such a public area, like it's on the streets, you would have to like clear the whole block out of children, because with a window access, because it was just outside, So Scott Weiner's out there. He's supporting the caucus, supporting the gang, you know what I mean? Because he is the leader, I believe, of the LGBTQ plus caucus in the California Senate. So he's out there topless, doing what could you imagine if the Black Caucus, if the nigga from the Black Caucus was out there with the niggas with the bandanas on, you know what I mean, out there, and they selling dope over here. Like, could you imagine? Let it all be like, they got pee on me R. Kelly pools over here. R. Kelly got locked up. I don't know if he got locked up for that specifically, but I don't know if that's technically illegal, and selling dope over here on the streets is illegal, so maybe it's not a fair comparison. But could you imagine just maybe niggas not out there selling dope? Niggas can't even be out there shooting dice. They done made everything niggas do illegal. So, but pee on me pools is legal apparently, and the senator is somewhat endorsing it. You know what I mean? Directly, indirectly, showing up at the event, taking pictures. You know what I mean? So he's definitely trying to benefit from the attendees that attend this environment. So the picture you see up there, I don't know if it flashed by. I apologize. It just couldn't be ignored because I was for me, I'd look like I just blur out most of it because it wasn't showing nothing. But it was just not really a good look for any politician at all. And he wasn't there. But at this block party, you can see the pictures out on the streets. It's not a park. It's not no gated area. It's a block party, right? Who knows? There may be a gate at the end of the streets, but it's not. There's just buildings and stuff. And dude is urinating on some old dude, and this is some wild fetish, crazy stuff. And it's been, and our politicians are leading the way. You heard about old boy getting spanked by the drag queen. That's not, you know what I mean? Like, he just participated in probably the lightest thing that happens there. You know what I mean? So look at how you want to look at it. It's getting a little wild on these streets, man. You see what's going on. Even the politicians are, you know what I mean? Remember the crackhead politicians? This is the new, not to say like just the extremeness of that. You know what I mean? There was the pothead politicians and the crackhead politicians. The crackhead politicians can pass, but the pothead politicians can get away with it, but the crackhead politicians would get kicked out of office. You know what I mean? That's just that. And that's what this is right now. They then went from the pothead politicians to the crackhead politicians, and the crackhead shit is being acceptable. And I'm just talking about a degree, not no direct comparison to drugs and LGBTQ plus. I'm just saying, like, hey, there's the classiness of drugs, and I would say marijuana is a classy drug. Some people want to look to like for cocaine or some shit like that, but that's on that and cocaine. I mean, that's cocaine, crack. I mean, it's the same shit. So marijuana is a classy drug where you could probably, in the right area, smoke outside, you know what I mean, right at the restaurant area, and no other drug you're gonna be able to like perform. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So they done crossed over to the crackhead side of shit, and they really pushing it. So moving forward, I got a special one for y'all, man. Clarlize, I believe her name is. Clarlize, she was in plenty of movies, man. Clarlize, man. She's been in plenty of movies. I'm gonna let y'all check the pictures out because she adopted a little boy. She definitely adopted a little boy, but the boy's a girl now. So Clarlize Theron, she was in let's go through a little bit of something. She was in Hancock. She was in let me pull up something. What I got? Let me see. I got something right here. I got something. She was in Hancock. She was in a bunch of movies. Man, she and she adopted this child a while ago. I'm just catching on to it, seeing the news. Not seeing the news, but I just, saw a headline like, huh? What's going on here? So, Fast X, Addams Family 2, Fast 9, Addams Family. Not sure exactly who she played. Bombshell, Fast and Furious. Who's she playing Fast and Furious? I don't know. But Long Shot, Hancock, Mad Max. She was in Snow White and the Huntsman. A lot of movies. She's a superstar, right? So, and this is she's a great actor. But for some reason, she seems to be adopting. Oh, I didn't even have the pictures up for the Scott Wiener. I'm gonna have to go back to the Scott Wiener thing. Scott Wiener, they was bugging out. Scott Wiener showed his ass. We're gonna go back to that. But Charlize Theron, plenty of movies, adopted young Jackson, and now young Jackson is someone else now. Young Jackson is I'm not sure if she got her name. They released her name yet, but so Charlize Theron, my child I thought was a boy, is a girl. For the first time, the Hollywood actress reveals why her adopted child Jackson is wearing dresses, and her inspiration, her own mother, who shot her father. So there's a lot of that we definitely need to break down a lot of that. The part she adopted this boy, and my child I thought was a boy. You thought was a boy because you adopted a boy from the adoption place, right? So this boy had gender identities that had gender expressions or something that were being shown. Like was he just wearing dresses? So my child I thought was a boy is a girl. Her thought. What I want to know what gave her confirmation that this boy is a girl. So actress, her adopted son Jackson. The inspiration was Jackson's mother. And I'm curious because for some reason I feel like the mother shot the father and they both in jail, or is that why the boy got put up for adoption? But either way, the boy gets adopted, and by Charlize, and now the boy transitions to being a girl, and what do you what y'all gotta say? Get in the comments, because this is wild, right? If I couldn't imagine seeing this, I feel like for black folk in general, maybe just taking this as an insult, just as an insult on face value, just looking at it, you adopt the black boy, you transition him into a girl, and provide the vaguest reasons why. I thought he was a boy. The motherfucker a girl. Shit. Nigga told me why, because maybe we asked him why. I don't know. The boy, how old was the boy when he transitioned? He don't even look that old right now, That's kind of crazy. So just real quick, man, we're going to come back. We're going to do a whole video on that one. We're going to dig on that one a little bit more. If there's something there, we're going to do something. But Mr. Scott Wiener, I know I had the Gavin up there doing his thing, but the Scott Wiener, he's bugging out, man. They bugging. They tripping, bro. I'm gonna let y'all ride out, man. Just sorry if y'all just ate, man. They out in these streets, man. This is a block party. Mr. Scott Weiner pulled up, showed us his support. Senator, California Senator, leader of the LGBTQ plus caucus, legislator of a lot of these bills that people find controversial. I believe he had a bill that made it more. It's I don't want to get to 145 or something. SB look into some of the bills that he wrote. Definitely some things that may sound fair, some things that may sound a little bit like odd. This is a lack of a better term. So go ahead, check it out. Scott Weiner at the block party. They turn it up. They got the pee parties. They got dudes trained to light poles that your kid may ride around, put his hands on after he's riding his scooter. Like, oh, Dad, I'm tired. Like, don't lean on that pole. Hell no. That nigga had his fucking ass out on the fucking pole, handcuffed to it. I saw the picture, son. It was at this corner. Do not lean on that damn pole. Motherfuckers do not sanitize the light poles. I ain't never seen it in my life. You know, so they out there just, you know, don't sit right there. They had the pee pool right there. Where you think they drain the pee at? No, don't. You know, so what you think? You know, like it's definitely not ordinary. You know, not to be just judgmental or just a kink shame, yeah. But you know, rent a convention center out or something. Keep that shit indoors. You know, have a good cleaning service. You know, why the city gotta clean that shit? You know, they ain't finna do a good job. Niggas go out there with the power washers with the sanitizer mix. Yeah, we just spray the sanitizer on it. It just disappears. Everything just goes up in air. We just spray the sanitizer on it. Dissolves everything. I don't know. I'm just joking. Yeah, y'all like, subscribe, comment, everything. Y'all please share the video. Y'all have a good one.